What's up, guys? It's Will here, back again. Today, I'm going to give you a comprehensive look at my collection. I started collecting 8 years ago, and since then, my collection has evolved tremendously. Today, I'm going to showcase my current setup, which consists of figures, statues, props, and art prints. And I'm going to show it to you all in one take, so buckle up for that. You're in for quite the show. But before we get started, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you're notified when content goes live here. That said, let's get into it. Thank you so much for joining me for my collection tour today. You can see we're starting here with a brief overview. I'm just giving you a brief scan of what the room looks like. Those were the 6-scale figures that you can see there in the initial part of the video. These are some art prints. I have a prop closet among some figures and some signed memorabilia and things like that. We have a sword from Game of Thrones, some statues, more art prints, a Last of Us guitar, a lot more art prints. I promise you, I love my art prints. There's my computer I use to make videos and live streams and such, a Loki scepter. There's my statues. I've maximized my space in this room, ladies and gentlemen, and one day I would love to expand my collection a little bit, but as of now, I'm operating in about a 10 by 12 room, something about there. And I think it looks pretty good. But let's jump into 1/6 scale figures because I think that is probably what most people are here for. And this is my Star Wars case. So I have a lot of really cool stuff and we're gonna go through each figure individually one by one. But for the Star Wars case, I am absolutely in love with how this is turning out. I have a lot of Anakin and Darth Vader, as you can see, some Kylo Ren. And speaking of, we are starting with Anakin Skywalker. This is the Artist in Anakin, Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. Now this was somewhat of a controversial figure just because the prototype was so good. And the final product ended up looking very good, but not quite as good as the prototype. I'm still over the moon with it. This looks great, particularly in a dramatic, moody lighting like what I have here in my Module case. This is a 6/165 Module case for this case, and I think the lighting does wonders for it. I have Darth Vader right in the middle of the two. This is the Kenobi Darth Vader. So this is the battle damage version. You can display him as clean Darth Vader if you so wish, but for me, I really like that battle damage version with the split mask. It's such a unique look, and it has USB light up, so you plug a USB-C cable into the battery pack on the back, lights his lightsaber, his belt, and his chest pack as well, which is really great. So I really love this. The base is a reuse from Endgame, but this figure has so much presence on the shelf. It looks incredible, and I couldn't imagine living without it, unless I'm gonna have another better Darth Vader, maybe in the future. This is the Dark Side Anakin Skywalker. It's called Darth Vader Sith Apprentice. It's actually from the Ahsoka TV series. I got this from a collector at Star Wars Celebration. It was sold primarily at Star Wars Celebration in Japan. I had to pay a hefty price tag. If you haven't seen that video, I had to pay $1,200 for this bad boy. So it is way more than most Hot Toys would ever cost. It retailed for about $450. I paid about 2.5 times retail, 3 times retail to get this guy, but he looks incredible. And having him next to Light Side and Dark Side is pretty great. This is the Attack of the Clones Yoda. I love this figure. This is one I think that is not going anywhere in my collection anytime soon. Yoda is such a pivotal character, and I think this is the best one. They have original trilogy Yodas. They have the Empire Strikes Back version, but that looks more like a doll. This one looks more like an actual creation of Yoda, a CGI version, which I tend to prefer. And, you know, I grew up on the prequels compared to the originals, so I love that. This is BB-8. I believe this is from the 2-pack, the one from The Last Jedi. And either way, it's a great BB-8. I love the sequel trilogy. I've told people this many times before. I'm not sure how people are going to feel about me saying that in this video, but I needed a BB-8. He's just awesome. The weathering is great. He's pretty cool. So I have him in the front there. Salacious Crumb actually comes with the C-3PO. We're going to take a look at in a sec. I have him sitting there on C-3PO's base. It's a Return of the Jedi figure, and I think the Salacious Crumb kind of adds to the atmosphere of the overall look there. And R2-D2, this one, I mean, if you're gonna have a Star Wars collection, it's hard not to have an R2-D2. This is the Force Awakens version. It's the one that I could get my hands on reasonably at the time, and I really like it. The light up feature is a little bit sporadic on mine, so it's not on in this recording here, but I do really like this figure nonetheless, and having an R2 I think is gonna be worth it for the long term of my Star Wars collection. Cad Bane is awesome. Cad Bane is from the Book of Boba Fett, at least this version is. A lot of people know him from Clone Wars, and you know, it's one of those characters that really was brought into live action with a lot of hype surrounding him, and I loved his portrayal. His showdown with Cobb Vanth is one of the best scenes in Star Wars, in my opinion. Absolutely loved it, so I needed it in my collection. Here's the C-3PO. This is from Return of the Jedi. He does have a light up feature. You just pull the faceplate off and, you know, flick the little switch. It has batteries, they're watch batteries. It's not ideal. They don't last forever, and it's really not a fun time using them. But C-3PO is fully die cast, or at least primarily die cast, and he looks great. Not much articulation, but how much articulation do you need? He doesn't really articulate that much in the movies. So yeah, it's really great. C-3PO is a must-have, and we finally got our die-cast version, so he's in my collection, of course. This is the Kylo Ren from The Rise of Skywalker, the final film in the sequel trilogy. No USB light-up lightsaber, but this figure is awesome. I would have liked a more chrome paint application on the helmet, but I do love the presence of the figure, and of course, I'm a huge Kylo Ren fan. He's my favorite Star Wars character, followed closely by Anakin Skywalker, but Kylo Ren is my favorite, and he probably always will be. The Praetorian Guards, as I mentioned, my sequel trilogy love. I'm not a huge fan of The Last Jedi, but I enjoyed it for what it was. We have a heavy blade version and a double blade. There's the heavy blade with his spear there, as you can see, or sword rather, and you can see him holding it with two hands like a knight, which I really like the look of this for that reason. These Praetorian Guards just pop with that red, and I really enjoyed the fight between Rey and Kylo and the Praetorians. There were some choreography issues, but I still really enjoyed it. This is the Rise of Skywalker Rey. This is, I think, the best Rey as of now. A seamless body, has a pretty good head sculpt, albeit not perfect to Daisy Ridley. There will be another Rey sometime in the future and it will be better, but her yellow lightsaber is pretty cool. No USB light up, but the seamless body and the head sculpt make this one worth it, along with the pretty cool outfit. This was my first Hot Toys ever. It's the Force Awakens Kylo Ren figure. The first Hot Toys I ever bought, of course, was this Kylo Ren figure. I have a Darth Vader helmet you can see on there as well. This was made actually by Collecting Weekly. Shout out to Zach. So he made this for me and it's pretty great. I love this Kylo Ren figure. Again, it's a little bit dated, but I do love everything it represents for me. Force Awakens really is what drove me into, Star Wars fandom into a, higher level. And I think this one is absolutely worth it and it represents that for me. So Kylo Ren is awesome and I will always love that figure. And we're gonna do this in one take, but yeah, here's my voice going already. That's the Star Killer from The Force Unleashed. I love this figure. I played The Force Unleashed. Kiko Collect, shout out to him, convinced me to play it. I played it on the Xbox, actually. It had the original Xbox version, and the game was fantastic. Darth Revan, I never thought in a million years that this figure would be made. It was. Darth Revan is incredible. The hood is a major pain in the ass, but we stitched mine down to get it to sit a little more naturally. And I have him here with his lightsaber lit up using his force push hand, and I absolutely love it. So Darth Revan is one of my favorite characters and certainly one of my favorite figures, despite some issues with the figure in terms of the production. But nonetheless, it's a great figure. You got the Chrome Mando here and Grogu, the deluxe set. It's pretty cool. I really love this one. This is the best Mando as of now. I couldn't imagine not having a Mandalorian in my collection. And, I chose the Chrome version over the original Durasteel version. So I really like this a lot. I need to maybe adjust the pose a little bit, have him simply standing there for now, but I like that still. Having the weapon is pretty cool. This is the Darth Maul 2.0, the Darth Maul from the Phantom Menace. You can see the Sith speeder behind him. I have all those cables plugged to the left of him, which I need to find something to conceal that. But as of now, that's how I have my lightsabers running to a USB box in the middle of the case there. You can see the Sith speeder there in the back. I'm not sure if it's looking too cluttered or not. Let me know in the comments section below what you think. But as of now, I do have that Sith speeder because it's a really cool piece. Moving on to the Marvel case, this is awesome. Guys, the Marvel case is loaded with color and a really, diverse group of characters here that I think represent my Marvel fandom. There's a lot of Marvel figures I have on pre-order that I just don't have in my collection yet. They haven't been released, but overall, I'm very happy with how it's turning out. Starting with Deadpool, this is the Deadpool 3 Deadpool, the one with the special edition with the golden guns, which you can see holstered in his gun holsters there. And we got Dogpool as well, but this Deadpool is awesome. I love the vibrancy of the colors and the little pops, accents of gold here and there. The base feels a little bit cheap, but it certainly does do the trick. And Dogpool is awesome. I have him holding his katanas right now because I just love that look for him. But this is the best Deadpool in my opinion, bar none. So I'm glad I have one in my collection. This is Carnage from the Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage film. This is one of the coolest figures that I've ever seen in my life. It's certainly one of the coolest Hot Toys figures. And the detail that went into the body is incredible. It feels very gooey and textury. And the head sculpt with the teeth is my favorite. You can put him with a head sculpt with the tongue out, but that's not my preference. I like it with the teeth. I think it just looks more menacing and creepy and weird. And I just love this figure. This thing is insane. Here's Loki from Avengers Endgame. Of course, you guys know this was my dream figure. I really would like them to artist in this figure at some point. The head sculpt is okay with the helmet on. It conceals some of the deficiencies, but the outfit, the tailoring is amazing. It's just a matter of concealing maybe some of the, inaccuracies of the head sculpt with the likeness. But there'll be other figures to come. I love this figure. It's one of my most sentimental. Loki's one of my favorite characters ever. So this Endgame figure means a lot to me. So here we have Venom from the first Venom film. It is the regular edition, I believe, and you can see the texture on the body there as well. It's a seamless torso there and seamless arms. The only thing you have is the shoulder joints, but you can conceal those pretty easily. I like the teeth version for Venom as well. The tongue version to me always looks a little bit plasticky, so I like that teeth version for Venom too. This is Thanos from Infinity War. Now for me, I think this is the Thanos to own. This is the Thanos who won, and I think this is the best likeness and the coolest outfit, honestly, for that matter. So for me, the Infinity War Thanos is always going to be goated. If you ever were looking for this guy, you can find him very cheap. You have a seamless arm system there, and of course, a swappable arm with the gauntlet holding hand, which I love. The gauntlet uses batteries, so it's more trouble than it's worth to light it up. But nonetheless, that figure is an absolute grail, and I can't imagine not having that Thanos in my collection. Here we have the Iron Man Battle Damage Mark 85. This is from Avengers Endgame. Again, battery light up, so more trouble than it's worth. So for me, this is a very iconic portrayal for the Tony Stark Iron Man. The RDJ Iron Man is, probably the most iconic Marvel character that maybe will ever exist. And now this is his most iconic moment in the MCU represented in figure form. So for me, I'm going to say this one is an absolute essential figure for most Marvel collectors, particularly if you're trying to represent the MCU, which for me, it's a grail. So have him in the snapping pose from the end of Avengers Endgame. Yeah. Really, really love how this looks and turned out. We have the Infinity War Thor. I think this is my most iconic and favorite Thor. I don't think I've ever had a theater experience as cool as the Infinity War Thor moment when he arrives in Wakanda. That was incredible. My theater went absolutely insane. And that was just a moment that I remember very fondly. I was there with my brother, and it was just a great time. So I really like this figure, particularly with the eye patch on. You can cover up the likeness, which is okay, but not great. And it works pretty well. So that Thor is my Thor of choice for now. This is the Avengers Endgame Captain America. I love this guy. This guy is awesome. You have the shield there with a little bit of dirt and grime to it. You have Mjolnir in his right hand. Of course, this is Cap's, I think, most iconic moment in his MCU arc, which is amazing. So for me, love the proportions on this. Head sculpt is pretty good with the mask on, not great. But for me, I think that's the iconic Cap as of now. So that's the one that I'm going with in my collection, because you need a Steve Rogers Captain America. I mean, the dude is legend at this point. This is the Iron Man Mark 7. This is the 2.0, I believe. So USB light up is not a thing. It's battery. So again, more trouble than it's worth. But nonetheless, it looks pretty cool. It almost looks lit up under this lighting here, but it's a die cast piece. So real metal for most of it. And it just looks awesome. The Mark 7 is my favorite armor. It's my favorite Iron Man armor that's ever existed. So I have to have this one in my collection. I don't always do two of certain characters. Iron Man is, I'd say, among the tops for me, but I needed a Mark 7 and 85 just to represent the two iconic armors there for me. So love that Mark 7. Here we have Shang-Chi from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I love this film. It's one of my favorite movies ever, let alone Marvel films. I think it's the best Marvel solo film that's been done. So I had to get this Shang-Chi figure, and I have the 10 rings effects on here, the flaming effects, which are pretty awesome. The proportions are great. The chest, the pecs are a little bit strong, but if you see it in person, you can pose them away just by putting him in certain poses. So all you have to do is give him a little bit of a push down forward, and it goes away. So the rings are pretty great. Outfit is great, very well tailored. So really enjoy this figure. You can pick this one up for super cheap these days. So for me, I love Shang-Chi so much. I'm glad that I have this guy. And of course, Wen Wu, his dad, the villain of the film, loved this portrayal here by Tony Leung. So this Wen Wu figure is fantastic. I really like this likeness a lot. They updated the head sculpt and made it better. You can see he has a little come at me bro type of ring swooshy effect pose, which is pretty cool. And the other rings on his arms there, which those are sculpted on. It's fantastic. But this Wen Wu figure is really great. I wish we had a long hair Wen Wu, but nonetheless, we do not. This is the Tom Holland Spider-Man new red and blue suit. This is, I think, the best Spider-Man figure for Tom Holland that's been released thus far. It's a very cool suit, and they just recently, yesterday, as me recording this video, showed the new suit, which is this, but a little bit different. The webbing is a little bit raised, but nonetheless, this figure has an incredible head sculpt. It's one of those that you take out of the box and say, wow. And the suit texture, the detail is incredible. So I have him holding his mask on his snowy base, which is pretty cool. This is one of the best head sculpts I have in my collection, and I'm so glad I have this because I love my Tom Holland Spider-Man. This is the tech suit. It's actually the Far From Home promo version, so it came with just the figure, no head sculpt with it. So for me, this is my favorite Spider-Man suit for Tom Holland. I do think this one is iconic in its own right. So I have this one just because it's the start for him, really, besides the, homemade suit. So this is the first like Spider-Man suit, and the tech suit I think is a really cool look for him. So that's why I have that one. It's fantastic, really enjoy it. This is the Black Panther T'Challa. It's the 2.0. It is the original suit from the Black Panther solo film. Could also be used as the Civil War T'Challa, which I had at one point. This is the best Black Panther suit. The other one that T'Challa had was okay. I like the effects on it, but I really prefer this one and the look of it. And the proportions on this one are greatly improved compared to the original. Black Panther is one of the best Marvel characters, and I really miss Chadwick. I think he did such an amazing job as T'Challa. And this Black Panther is just incredible. I mean, it has so much presence on the shelf. I wouldn't want to leave a crease too long for, creasing, but, it's still a great figure. This is the Killmonger, the Eric Killmonger, which goes perfectly with Black Panther. Michael B. Jordan did a great job playing the antagonist in Black Panther, and Killmonger was amazing. So the lines on Killmonger were edited, adjusted to be a little bit more gold and more raised, so you could, pose the figure a little bit more. But essentially, yeah, this figure is incredible too, and that Killmonger mask is insane, as is the head sculpt for Michael B. Jordan, if you want to put that on there. But I have him holding his weapons there as vibranium swords. Moon Knight, I'm actually a big fan of the Moon Knight show. I don't think it's perfect, but I liked it more than most. And I am getting the Artisan Moon Knight, but for now, I'm displaying the regular Moon Knight because I don't want to not have a Moon Knight in my collection. I really enjoyed his portrayal by Oscar Isaac, so I really, enjoyed the show and thought it was great. And I love the costume for Moon Knight. So for me, that's why I have this, because I love the look of the character and I really enjoyed the show and the portrayal. And with that white there, it just pops. So here's another scan of the Marvel case. It is coming together very well. I have an Artisan Scarlet Witch coming in soon that's going to go to the next to Loki, but I think overall the case is pretty diverse and well-rounded, so I'm liking it. But there will be some changes as we go and some adjustments. So let's move on to the movie and television case. Right now, it's more of just a movie case. Here's a brief scan here. You got a lot of different IPs represented, and I'm happy with how it turns out. I like my diverse range of IPs, and we're going to go through each one individually, but this case is looking pretty strong here. This is the Feral Predator from Prey, the Predator film that came out on Hulu a couple years back now. This is one of my favorite figures in my entire collection. I don't know that I've seen many figures that have more presence than this one. It is big and it is hugely presence commanding. This figure, I think, just immediately when you walk into my collection room, you look at it and say, wow, that figure jumps out to me. Has the light up function on the mask. It's pretty awesome. Has his spear, a really cool diorama base, his claws. It's amazing. So you have InArt Paul Atreides here. I did actually order the Eyes of Abad, the blue ones, and I'm going to put them in his eyes here soon once they come in. But this is the InArt Paul Atreides from Dune, and this is one of the best head sculpts I have too. The rooted hair is also very strong. And I think you have an exquisitely tailored outfit here. A magnetic base, Muad'Dib here on the base, the little mouse, and you can adjust the robe and make it flow as you wish because it's wired, so it's pretty cool. So I have him holding his knife there looking dramatic. But take a look at that head sculpt up close. It's pretty remarkable. InArt Collectibles knocked that one out of the park. Here's the Artisan Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny Depp's character. Anyone who says this figure is not good is absolutely tripping. This one is essentially a remake of the DX-15, and it's fantastic. The pirate wheel base is awesome. The gold there that comes with him is awesome. You got a real fabric bandana, real rooted dreadlock hair. It's pretty great, and the tailoring is fantastic. It is a huge improvement over the original, and anyone saying otherwise, I promise you, it's not true. If you get them in hand, I've had both. It's amazing. This is the Arnold Schwarzenegger DX-13 Battle Damage Terminator from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. You can see his cybernetic damaged arm there with all the blood effects is awesome. His jacket and pants are actually pleather. They've remade this figure since in real leather. You can see the cybernetic leg there as well. I wish I could see him a little bit more in my display. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll put him on a cube to raise him up a little bit. But as of now, this thing is incredible and such a great figure. Love Terminator. This is the Artisan Heath Ledger Joker from The Dark Knight. This is Hot Toys' best effort to date for this Joker figure, and it's a very strong figure. You can see I have him in the grenade holding pose from the beginning of the film, the opening stages of the film, and I really love this. The rooted hair is pretty fantastic. I've not had any issues with mine, and I really like this grenade holding pose. I'll probably do that when the J&D comes in too. You have Bane, which you guys know. The Bane is one of my favorite figures that I've ever seen. It's just extremely lifelike, custom body there with Fison, seamless all around, except a visible wrist joint, which you can cover up pretty easily just with posing. You don't really see it. You just see that little line there, nothing crazy, but the likeness is insane. Have him in the back there standing, looking menacing. Maybe I'll adjust and put him in the arms out pose, but I'm worried about the silicone, damaging itself long term. I don't know, time will tell, but either way, that figure is insanely good and just one of the best out there. This is the Two-Face 2.0 from Hot Toys. It was a Toy Fair exclusive way back in the day. It's pretty good. It's looking a bit dated these days considering it came out several years ago, and now there's a J&D option out there, but this Two-Face, I love The Dark Knight. It's that and Avengers 1 are what made me a comic book movie fan, so I love this Two-Face. It's great. A lot of detail to it, and it's really holding its own in my collection, despite the fact that it's older than a lot of these other figures. So here we have the InArt Joaquin Phoenix Joker pack, and these are 3 of the figures. There is a 4th with him in the hospital clown outfit, which I didn't feel was integral to my display, so I sold it off. This is incredible. Looking at these 3, this is the Murray Franklin Joker set. The likeness, look at that. It's insane. I cannot state how much I love these figures. Like, I love Joker 1. I don't even think about Joker 2 anymore because it's absolutely terrible, but I love how these came out and InArt represented these figures. We've been begging for a good Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and InArt finally did it. This is the bathroom scene Joker, which is incredible. I have him in his dancing pose. This one is an absolute grail. Everyone who didn't get the 4-pack, I mean, I think you might end up missing this bathroom Joker. It's a work of art type of figure. The head sculpt is insane, as is the tailoring and the outfit, and the base there, you have that bathroom floor base, magnetic, holds the figure. It's great. They have rooted hair on this one for all 3. It's incredible. So for me, I love this set so much. I really can't say enough good things about it. This is the Arthur Fleck. This head sculpt came out great. I think InArt did a great job bringing Joaquin Phoenix's likeness to life, and this Joker 3-pack has done such a good thing. I mean, putting them all in the base, they all magnetically stick there. It's insane. So those 3 are incredible. We have the InArt Collectibles Gandalf from the Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings. This one is great. I still want to style my hair a little bit further. Gandalf looks like maybe he's just been through a battle or he's been through a journey, which is fine. Gandalf's hair kind of, looks like that most of the time. But InArt did an amazing job here. I have him holding his staff and his sword in his other hand. The tailoring and the beard and the outfit and the rooted hair is incredible in this figure. This Gandalf is one of InArt's grails. People go crazy for this one. And I'm very happy with how this figure turned out. So for me, this Gandalf figure is fantastic, and I'm really happy that this turned out as well as it did. But I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so obviously I need this one. We have the Aragorn, which is also great. This was a little bit of a downgrade from the prototype, but it's still an amazing figure. Of course, I need Aragorn again. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so for me, Aragorn, Legolas, and of course, eventually we'll get Gimli, Gandalf. All of it is going to be coming home to my collection. I got the Nazgul as well coming, so. But this Aragorn is great. You got his, his iconic sword there, and of course his magnetic base, which is pretty awesome. So really happy with this one, and yeah, Lord of the Rings is a big part of my collection, as is Pennywise. So this is the InArt Pennywise. I have 2 of these, as you'll see in a sec. I have him in his iconic balloon holding pose on his diorama base, which is amazing. So this figure was a dream come true for me. So thank you, InArt, for creating a rooted hair, amazing 10 out of 10 Pennywise. And here is the second head sculpt it comes with. I bought a second body, and I displayed both of them. So this is the teeth head sculpt, which is incredible. So I love this one. I have him in a type pose right now, holding a dismembered arm from the Hot Toys version. So love this Pennywise. It's insane. I have both head sculpts on because it's just that important of a character to me. I love Bill Skarsgård's portrayal. So moving on to the final case, this is the video game case. So you're going to see a diverse array of video game figures here, which I'm very proud of. I love my video games, primarily PlayStation-based video games, and I have these all displayed here, which I think look pretty cool and add to a really colorful, diverse display. Starting with 21 inches of Venom, this is from the Marvel Spider-Man 2 video game on PS5. The texture on this thing is insane. It has the Spider-Man logo there on the front, and it just feels very gooey and rubbery. And yeah, the fact that it smells like rubber is insane. Love that Venom. He's massive. This is the Advanced Suit Spider-Man 2.0. I think this is the best Spider-Man suit that's been done by Hot Toys, pure Spider-Man suit. This was the exclusive version that I have here, and it's incredible. I, again, love the first game even more than the second. And I'm using this suit, even though it's the second one, to represent my love for the first. The second game was pretty solid, had some great moments, but that's why I got these two, because I liked it overall. But the first game's a bit better, but I loved Venom scenes, playing as Venom, and I loved the Advanced Suit 2.0 look. This is Nanaki, so Red 13. This was made by VS Toys back in the day. It's a statue. It's from Final Fantasy VII. So if you are looking for a Red 13, this is the best version out there for now. It's a statue. Again, it has rooted hair on the top and on the head there. So pretty cool figure. It goes well with my FF7 collection. him, but I like it. This is the Limb Toys Nathan Drake. So this is from Uncharted 4. It's Nathan Drake, which, you know, again, is a hugely important character in PlayStation history. Naughty Dog created a very compelling series with the Uncharted series, and, you know, Uncharted 4 is, I think, the best of the whole series. So this Nathan Drake is stunning. Limb Toys, a third-party company, did amazing work with this. It is an absolute work of art. It's one of the best third-party figures ever made. So if you're looking for some of the best, then Nathan Drake from Limb Toys is up there. Speaking of, Game Toys created these figures, another third-party licensed company. This is Cloud First Class and Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Cloud First Class is from Rebirth, the sequel, but this is insane. So the Sephiroth is, again, one of my favorite figures. He's one of my favorite characters ever. So that Sephiroth is insane. He comes with his wing, but mine has started to sag at this point. So we're just gonna have to roll with the Sephiroth without the wing. You can see his Masamune sword there. It's fantastic. Tailoring is great. And the First Class Cloud has so much presence, and, you know, it just looks like a great figure. It's Cloud in training, so to speak, which is pretty cool, which gives him the extra shoulder pad and some different gauntlets. These are the Storm Collectibles figures. It's Scorpion and Sub-Zero. These actually do have visible joints, but you can pose them away as I have. It's very hard to see them in my display. So I've gone ahead and given them bent elbow poses to give them a little bit of life and make them look more realistic. I love them aside from the visible joints. These are insane quality figures. I grew up playing Mortal Kombat. So for me, I got custom bases for each of them just because they're awesome. Speaking of Mortal Kombat, I also loved the movie. So this was Hiroyuki Sanada's portrayal of Scorpion, and this is made by Pop Toys. It's insane. The armor is die cast, which makes it super heavy. The weapons are die cast, and it's just amazing as a figure. So this one has so much presence on the shelf, and I'm really happy that I have this, and I can't see myself getting rid of that. This is the Nyron Studios Levi. This is a shelf queen. This figure looks very strong, looks very good, but is a absolute massive pain in the ass to assemble and get it on the shelf looking good. It's very fragile and just falls apart easily, but it looks good. So I have him in a simple standing there pose. I love my Attack on Titan. Levi is my favorite character in the show, so people know that about me. This is the Iconic Studios Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2 Remake. I love Silent Hill 2 Remake. It's become one of my favorite games. I would love to play it again soon. You can see his sword there as well as great sword, and then you have the Pyramid Head with the custom body. It's a Phison custom body with like damage, and like it looks very dead, which is pretty cool. So Pyramid Head is a huge part of Silent Hill 2. He's a big part about James's guilt, and he chases James down. He's the antagonist, so for at least part of the game. This is Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2. Limb Toys, the ones who made the Nathan Drake and now Joel and Ellie on pre-order. And you have a custom horse here. It's Long Jin Shu, I believe. I believe it's from Westworld, but the horse goes great with Arthur Morgan. So I love this Arthur Morgan from Limb Toys. It's one of the best third-party figures as well. And here is probably the best video game figure that has ever been done. It is Wukong by InArt Collectibles, and this is in the Great Sage armor set. This is incredibly beautiful. It has such an ornate look to it. I have him holding his staff upward. There's the crown there that imprisons him, and the base is also pretty cool. But this Wukong is insanely good. So if you're a huge fan of the Wukong game, which I am, it took me forever, very frustrated, but I have fond memories of playing it with people I love. So I really enjoyed this Wukong figure, and I'm glad that it's in my collection. It's an absolute grail. So if you're looking to pick it up, check out somewhere where you can find it in our collectibles. It's insanely detailed. This is just a beautiful, stunning figure. It has so much presence, and it's insane. So looking at the scan of my video game collectibles figure, I think this is awesome. I still have some space there, and I think that's Advent Children Cloud with the bike in the front there as well, which is pretty amazing. So that's a really great figure. Another scan there of the 6 scale set here. That is incredible. So the 6 scale figure cases, module cases have gone really well for me. This is my statue collection. These are primarily custom statue cases from module case as well. So this is really looking good. I've started to fill it up, as you can tell, but for me, I'm very excited about where things are going, and there will be some changes to the statue collection in the future, but for now, I really think I have a diverse setup here, which I'm very proud of. So for me, yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. We're starting with The Last of Us Part 2 statues. This is actually Abby on the left here. I have her holding the hammer. There's some swap out options that you can have her holding, but there's tons of detail in this base. This is the theater interaction between Ellie and Abby, where 2 stories collide in the midpoint of the game, or maybe a little bit further. It's meant to be at the climax, I guess you could say. And then Ellie is hunting for Abby. So these two are hunting each other in this scene, and that's why Ellie is crouching down, sort of sneaking around of a game in cat and mouse. She's holding her shotgun. It looks insane. The detail on these bases and just the presence they have together is amazing. So really love these two. There's Abby, as you can see, with an insane likeness. I picked this one up because I'm a huge fan of part 2, and I came around to Abby's character. I hated her for a long time, but I came around to understand her and I started to like her character. So this is Ellie from part 2. The likeness is also fantastic. And this statue is Ghost of Tsushima Jin Sakai. This is incredible. When people come over, this is one of the statues they go to first. The amount of detail in the base, the fox there on the front, the logo there at the front of the base as well, and Jin Sakai's outfit and overall head sculpt and mask is incredible. There's a swap out. You can have him holding the mask with his face uncovered, but I like this mask look, so this is the one that I go for. This thing is an insane work of art. Absolutely love it. So for me, yeah, this is just ridiculous. So here's Baldur and Kratos. Baldur and Kratos from God of War, the I believe it was 2018 version. It was the 4th God of War game, and they go together so well with that God of War logo in the middle. You got Atreus there shooting an arrow as well. You got Baldur and Broods attacking Kratos. This thing is insane. Baldur is one of the best statues I've ever seen, and the fact that you can still get this guy on sale is remarkable. Like this is like one of the best, coolest statues I've ever seen, and I love Baldur's character. I thought he was absolutely awesome in that God of War game, and I need him in my collection. I got Baldur first and then Kratos second. That's how much I liked Baldur. I really liked Baldur in this game, and I think his base is insane. It's super heavy though. This statue is heavy, so when you're moving it around, be careful. Try taking it apart first. But here's the Kratos. It's awesome. You can see the texture there on the beard and the skin, and of course, I forget what the Deadly Mist armor set I believe this is. There's a Leviathan axe, which just ripe with detail. It's insane. So there's a wide look at it. It's pretty remarkable. So these two are crowning jewel in my collection. It's a great diorama. This is the 3-0 Drogon and then the Beast Kingdom Iron Throne. This Drogon is 1/6 scale. I believe it's maybe from season 5. Drogon is not fully grown at this point, but he's pretty large. And the 1/6 scale version of that pretty large Drogon is still pretty massive. 3-0 only made 144 of these worldwide because this retailed for about $1,500. I got mine on sale from HBO Shop and it was great. I think I paid 15% less. I paid maybe $1,100 or $1,200. You get a cool base there, but the texture on the skin is incredible. All the teeth are really well painted. You can see Drogon's tongue there. No fire coming out of his mouth, but it's amazing. This thing is awesome. You can see bones. You can actually scatter them around the base. They come separate in a little baggie and you could just scatter them around however you would like, but it's pretty cool and I love how this looks. This is the Beast Kingdom Iron Throne, also 1/6 scale. My plan is to put InArt Collectibles Game of Thrones figures when they are actually released, hopefully soon. In this case with Drogon and the Iron Throne, and it's going to be a Game of Thrones 1/6 display in this case. The detail is pretty great for this. You can pick up this thing super cheap, but for a 1/6 scale Iron Throne, Beast Kingdom did an absolutely sufficient job here. It's a good statue, so I like it. Here's the Night King Game of Thrones statue from season 5. I believe it's episode 8, Hard Home. This is from Prime 1 Studios. It is 1/4 scale, 1/4 scale, and you can see the Night King. There's the ultimate version with the 2 whites behind him. It is incredible. So for me, I love this statue. I think it has so much presence. The icy dock base, it's just ripe with detail. It's insane. It brings me back to that moment, which is one of the best scenes in all of Game of Thrones. So for me, I think this thing is incredible. See all the blood on the dock. It's insane. The detail on the outfit, the head sculpt is remarkable. It's just ridiculously good. This has so much presence. The second you set it up on a pedestal or in your display case, you're going to be like, okay, this thing is insanely good. So excuse some of my shakiness in this video, by the way. This was all handheld, so it's just kind of part of the process, but you know, it's a raw, mostly unedited video, so enjoy that part of it, I guess. Here's the white behind him. It's pretty awesome. You can see all the blood effects that Prime 1 has painted onto the statue. It's incredible. The blood on the sword, and of course the outfit is amazing. You have real fur up top there, which you have to bend to the, you know, the costume. It's pretty cool. You can see the base there as well, some skulls, and of course an axe, and of course the second white on there with a bloody hand and his axe and everything else. It is insane. So the amount of detail, again, and how much presence it has is remarkable. This is the Queen Studios Loki. It is 1/4 scale as well. It's from Avengers 1, and it has a light up base. It's when Loki arrives on Earth. It has real rooted hair and genuine leather outfit. It is remarkable. So again, my love for Loki knows no bounds. So pretty much every Loki I'm interested in, and this one certainly was, because as I mentioned, Avengers 1 is what got me into this fandom, that and The Dark Knight. So I love this statue. It's incredible. The rooted hair is great. The likeness is incredible. So I really enjoyed that Queen Studios made this, and then they stopped making this line. So I'm really glad they started with Loki, because that's the character I wanted anyway. And I got this 1/4 scale Loki statue because yeah, it's my favorite, one of my favorite characters, definitely in the top 5. And I'm really glad that I was able to pick this one up for that reason. So real genuine leather again, and of course the rooted hair makes this guy with a great diorama base a really compelling statue, a really compelling piece. So moving on, we have the Sauron. This is from Prime One Studios. This is from Lord of the Rings. So you can see this thing is quarter scale, but Sauron is such a big boy that it's going to be inevitably a very presence commanding piece and just a very large commitment to your collection. The detail in the armor is remarkable. It's insane. You have some chainmail there as well, which is kind of difficult to install, but it looks great. You have the base meant to be from Mordor, and you can see the rocks there and the skulls, and then you can see Sauron's severed finger with the ring on it. You get that separate with the exclusive version. It's pretty great, but this base has so much detail with the skulls and all of the weapons and elvish armor and things like that. Sauron has done some work here and slayed some enemies, so it's pretty great. He's doing his iconic pose with the ring up, with his hand up and the ring showing. The cape is bendable and you can adjust it to your will, so it's pretty cool. Here's my pride and joy, my 1/2 scale Pennywise from Prime One Studios. This is 1/2 scale. Yes, you can see Georgie's hand coming out of the sewer there, and this is the iconic scene really where he gets drugged down into the sewer, and Pennywise is on top of the base just standing up. Of course, it's not what happened in the movie, but it's what looks cool, and I really love that base. It's 1/2 scale again, so it's pretty massive. It's like 3 feet tall. It's great. You have real rooted hair here and a great likeness to Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. The balloon actually goes down into the hand. You just kind of slide it through the hole there. It works pretty well. But the costume is all fabric. It's really great, and it's a really, really nice piece. You can adjust the hair if you want to, but there are some smaller statues I have. These are from Kotobukiya. I threw these in here just because I do have them. Kotobukiya, they are making Attack on Titan statues here. I believe they're 1/7 or 1/8 scale, and they're pretty cool. They're nice little shelf pieces that I think go well with my collection. But I love Attack on Titan. It's my favorite anime. Not seen a ton of animes, to be fair, but I do really like these statues. I think Kotobukiya did them justice here. So I have Aaron, Levi, and Mikasa, and I really enjoy those just being in my collection. There's my wide view of my statue collection. Again, the cases I think are custom Maji case max cases, so all custom versions primarily, but pretty great. So here we are going through the prop section. So I'm going to show you just a brief scan of the closet here that you can see. And you can see some Kylo Ren helmets, a Darth Vader helmet, Hot Toys Infinity Gauntlet, and some steel books and some figures from Last of Us. Those are from Lim Toys as well. Starting though with the gauntlet. This is the Hot Toys Infinity Gauntlet. And for this one, it is a 1-to-1 life-size prop. So Thanos has a big hand because he's a big purple space warlord. And I think for this one, it looks really great. I got a custom acrylic cube to put it in and some wireless LED lights. So this is great. You plug it in. I have it on the pulsating mode for the stones right now, so you can see the stones pulsating in their lights. There's a still mode where the stones stay lit just in a still way, but I like the pulsating mode. It gives it more life. But this looks really great. This is such an amazing piece, and I love it. This is the Darth Vader helmet from EFX. I had it custom painted by a friend of mine, so this is a really lifelike, cool helmet with tons of detail. I used to use it for my Darth Vader cosplay when I did 501st charity events, but I have a Darth Vader A New Hope costume. This is the A New Hope version, and the original Star Wars Darth Vader helmet, and it's a really, really nice piece, so I'm glad I have that one in my collection as well, just because I think Darth Vader is iconic, and he's one of my favorite characters too. So this is the Kylo Ren helmet. It's from Anovos. This is the first generation. It's from The Force Awakens. I love this one because of the chrome. It's fantastic, and the paint application is super lifelike and accurate. Before Anovos went under and became De Nuvo Novo, which is now this Kylo Ren helmet you're seeing here from The Rise of Skywalker. That helmet was made, and of course I have both of them because, again, I'm a huge Kylo Ren fan. So I have the Rise of Skywalker version here, which is also incredible, and the Force Awakens next to each other. I'm also getting the EFX Kylo Ren lightsaber, which I'm super excited about. So this is The Last of Us Part 2 Steelbook, signed by Ashley Johnson, who played Ellie herself, and signed by Troy Baker, the actor who played Joel. So I have both actors signing the front and back of this custom steelbook, or not custom, it's a UK version steelbook, which I loved. There's Last of Us Part 1. I had Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson sign that as well, so Joel and Ellie signed that steelbook as well. This is the Lim Toys 1/12 scale Joel and Ellie. So I picked these up. These are unlicensed figures, but they're fantastic for 1/12 scale. So I wanted to get them in there. I got the clickers coming as well whenever those are released, and they're gonna all go in that case together, which is pretty cool. So there's my prop closet. As you can see, again, there is space for one more cube, as you can tell. So maybe it'll be the Kylo Ren lightsaber, we'll see. But this is the Valerian Steel Long Claw. It's a Game of Thrones sword, Jon Snow's sword, and it's made of Damascus steel. So it is a limited edition King in the North edition with the King in the North plaque when Jon is crowned King in the North in Game of Thrones. I believe it's season 6 at that point. But I really love this one. It's a 1-to-1 prop. It is a real metal sword, and it's pretty detailed. This is a Last of Us stop sign I got from Naughty Dog. It's from PlayStation Direct. It is an officially licensed Last of Us stop sign. Maybe one day I will have it weathered and have like some moss and green effects and weathering on it. Pretty cool. Lager Toys is a 1-to-1 Loki scepter. Again, my love for Loki, as you can tell. It lights up, and I have a custom Tesseract I got from eBay as well, as you can see there as well. This is a real metal prop, so it is metal and dangerous. It is very sharp, and it has that light up feature for Loki scepter, which is pretty cool. So I have that above my doors there over the shelf, on that shelf, and it looks pretty great. So for me, I love this Loki scepter. I've had it for a really long time. And you can see the detail and the weathering there, and the paint applications are great. Other companies have since made this. I don't even know if Lager Toys is still in business, but this scepter can be made by a lot of different people now, and it's really great. So I really enjoy it. This is one of my prized possessions. This is the Last of Us guitar from The Last of Us Part 2. It's from Taylor. It was an officially licensed Taylor acoustic replica, a real guitar that you can play, and Taylor guitars are incredible. And it really has all the life from The Last of Us video game Part 2. I also got a plaque signed by Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker for this guitar, and it goes perfectly in the case with it. So this is a guitar that I will almost certainly never get rid of. I bought it on eBay, and since then it's gone way up in value, but I got a custom guitar case here with lights that really displays the guitar really nicely. So for me, I love it. This is Ellie's backpack from The Last of Us Part 2. It came with the Ellie edition when the game released, and I had it custom weathered and painted, and I got some arrows and had them weathered a little bit, put them in the backpack, and it really has a little bit of life to it to give that display a little bit more presence. So I love it. So you can see the bracelet Dina gave Ellie is on there as well, and I think again it gives that Last of Us Part 2 display a little bit more life. So I really like it. It really makes that Last of Us display come together. Looking at the prints, this is Duality Day. This is from Cook & Becker. It is the print that I had to chase down, very lengthy in time, and I really loved it. I had to pay a lot to get it, and it's my favorite print. This is the Jake Cantu print for The Last of Us. It is, again, Joel and Ellie together. You know my Last of Us. Last of Us is my favorite story, video game, anything of all time. So I have a Last of Us tattoo, and I'm just a huge Last of Us fan. So this print I needed to have in my collection, and I absolutely love the detail on it and how artistic it is. Prints really do classy up your collection. I have custom framing on all of them. That gets expensive with museum glass, but I do love having a white mat, and just have everything consistent. And the really cool artistic prints really add a lot to your display, a lot of classiness. This is Duality Night, also from Cook & Becker, and I love this print. If you're looking for video game prints, Cook & Becker are the ones you want. The Last of Us ones are very popular and sell out and often appreciate in value. But I have this print signed by Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker because I really loved it. So I got this framed as well. This is them in Pittsburgh when they're fighting for their life in the first game, and I love it. This is part 2 from the trailer, Ellie playing guitar and Joel walking in, and I had it signed by both Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker as well. So I had to have that in my display as well, just because I love that photo. This is a Porter Robinson signed vinyl. So this is Look at the Sky, and he signed this, and I got this one. I picked it up before, and I love this. This is my favorite song ever, also tattooed on my body. So I love this one. So for those who know me, I play this on every Instagram reel ever. This is Jin's Horse Nobu. This is an art print from Cook & Becker. It's from Ghost of Tsushima, and I love this one just because it's Jin overlooking the landscape there, and it's pretty artistic and cool. And I love it. So for me, I really love these prints. Again, the white mat, the black frame really gives it a little bit of personality. This is a print called Pegada. It's also from Ghost of Tsushima. It's Jin looking on at a temple. And I think this one just has so much color and personality. I think it adds, again, a lot to the display. So these art prints really just remind me of my love for these games. And that's why I have them. This is Pike Street, Cook & Becker from The Last of Us Part 2. This is Ellie hunting for Abby, trying to get to the aquarium. And I love the landscape look of this one. It's just such an artistic photo. It looks almost like a drawing of some kind, and it's pretty great, which I guess it is. It's concept art at the end of the day. So anyway, this is the God of War print from Cook & Becker. It's called Tyr. This is Kratos and Atreus going towards Tyr's statue. And it's great. I love the half of it underwater, half of it above water. It's a pretty cool print, the fire. It gives it a nice personality there. This is another print from Cook & Becker. It's called The Old Flooded Path. It's from Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite games. So yeah, there's my art print collection, guys. So thank you for joining me. Let's continue with the video. Thank you so much for watching my collection tour. I've spent the last 8 years building my collection, and I'm finally to a point where I'm very happy with it. Still, the journey is never complete. I'll be looking to make improvements for the next collection tour, some significant ones. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell down below so you don't miss the next collection tour and channel updates along the way. Thank you again, and make sure to let me know your thoughts on my collection and how your collection is looking these days in the comments section below. See you in the next video.
you.